We in the tight. You got a problem, tell the fucking left. My niggas in the light, shoulders to the left and right. I die for everything, but before being cowards, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom with an outlet. You can either get with it or get flipped like an outlet. We live our arms and no excuse. Just sit the prayer to the Lord. I told you, and let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made it true. We're the race and they merchandise out of my boots. Scared of who? You got your gun, then put me on next side of arm. You miss my who gon' bite the bullet. He gon' take her, they gon' take her. A punch is better move slow. Attack dog for the truth. Nigga cool down.
Life for Yahweh Christ and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
Agora olha, uma chave chuva. Alright, tell it. Alright, go on. Até cima, pessoal, tá vendo?
No, the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and boss in it. Made niggas recruit. Had to shed light on the false image. I.S.U.P.K on court. Now who the fuck was scrimmage who words for something? What is real written? Don't affiliate with the symptoms. I know you feel me, nigga. This is death threat to hip hop. You don't stop that weak shit. I'ma make you lean. Listen, thriller. When the last time you heard it this wrong, what I wish for. Only angels watch my step, the black glass, my soul can't let them leave my body close. I know you're feeling, nigga. I should know what the super spell. 7 steps to put up. As long as I remember, I'm thinking the freedom, the only thing I'm not to feel that for me, nigga. Better feel it, the wrong step. Revenge of beauty, I'm a piece of woman. Can't keep the seats on me for dinner. We're going forward on the night, timber under the feel me, nigga. In the arms of terror, I stay still. Hit a part for the camera. What's everything I drop? Heavy as an anvil. So you understand like a man in his damn field. I know you kill me, nigga. Fucking quality, it gotta be. One man win, and the rest lose. Why you never say that I'm calculating my next move? You became a real nigga, sick refuge. By the chef for Paul, that'll get your food. A nigga's whole work to check your little attitude. I can the fuck you move on a little holiday like a Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected to the drain, walking from the mall. Bitches in my eyes, dripping the mud, screaming God bless the underdog. Now by the letter, they live by the protocol. Ain't nothing but a struggles. Like that's how a war resist. Looking forward to a world that never left. I really think you do, and it's you will be. Yes, you will be split. Now what's split? What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on opposing every direction. All alone like a triple chef. Young and the restless, but harder like a German necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Purchase your tracks today.
Test 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Only was the big case. Only was the big case. Lord said, especially good for the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. This shit is that I made from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. This shit is that I made from the Lord's anger.
my niggas, they cooked up with weaponry. Same one came in London, I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants to step for me. But they teach you take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember when it was rough, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would been a lot different if I fell up on the wrong swing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name, that we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that the handcuffs custom made the all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't dangerous. The decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't dangerous. The decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design. Cause when you in the streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you for real papers, ain't no restrictions. My father said, hard had to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Main Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court, found in DC school. I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. I.S.U.P.K, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said, God ain't 50-50, what's gonna come to pass? The Lord called me out the world, that's alright. All it was to be a gangster. Little did I know, I wasn't dangerous. Decisions that I made. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't dangerous. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to I.S.U.P.K until it hit the fan. I walked Broadway and drum, nigga, fuck the grand. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was really as a righteous man. And I got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct all multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hand. So one back to this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But 12 was locked up in the judge for a man ran on the shelf. Heavy crimes, it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to do shit that don't fuck.
Right. One second. Right.
One time when I'm on high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Don't be steady cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. You gotta hold yourself by the moment. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't dangerous. The decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I got is a gangster. Little did I know I wasn't dangerous. The decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster.
What is she looking on Alien by chance? Study? Alright, so what? Right. Boom. right. Okay. Right. All right. Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Yahweh Hashem Yoshe B'Katam to all the brothers. Yahweh Hashem Alatan B'Hashem Yoshe to all the sisters. So like for the little technical difficulties, all right. We had the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. All right. We teach the truth that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right. What we're going to touch on today is basically the government that set up on the planet. Every government, and no different from Trinidad and Tobago, was never designed for slaves. It's not to benefit no slave. All right. So we had to come out of the idea that this was something that that was always beneficial to us in some way, that the people and them, the slave masters, sorry, and slavery was abolished, and that was some time ago, you know, and all these different ideas. They would never do anything that would jeopardize their ability to live the same way, or if not better, in a more comfortable state, whichever era we're in, all right? And that has never changed all through history and all through the Bible, right? Also, the Lord gave us warnings in terms of falling for the okie doke, you know what I mean, or getting duped, or getting outsmarted again by the oppressor as Revelation talk about the devil and the angels, right? Which is the so-called oppressor, right? The Caucasian race and all the other races that are attached to them, that follow along the same pathway and have the same type of collaboration working together. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna get into some material. You'll see the videos and you'll see some evidence of what's going on here and how did this think actually, right? And when you see a person high in society and all these different things, don't think that there's some achievement. Like how people think Barack Obama was real good for Americans, Black America. Finally, we see a face a change and all the different things. It was never good for us, right? There's a next. It's not even our people itself. And then we have the token Negro now of our people here now, right? Which we think is a good example. And they have a history of being a teacher and this and a so-called leader in society, right? But when you check the mind state now, it's not aligning with what the Lord says is good for us as a nation. That's what we do benefit. So we always keeping our eyes looking at, some figure of hope, but not knowing that this society is not set up for us to be beneficial or beneficiaries, I would say. You know what I mean? Right. So this here now is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kid Rowley, talking about his logic then, right, of how he will help so-called society then as a whole. But we'll get to understand a bit later on what he means by that. Who is the society he referring to? Because it's come like he's talking to him. All right?
That is so cliche. I'm not really trying to interfere with the bridge between the rich and the poor, because there's not only the rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty. Right? So
well, that's kind of bridging the gap,
That is the equation. It's not a seesaw where one has to go down to the other one to come up. You have to find a way that you encourage the rich to get richer, because in getting richer, they create opportunities for the poor. Opportunity. And of course, if one wants to take advantage of opportunities that are made available, one has to prepare oneself and to make the sacrifice, to make the effort, because out of the effort will come reward. It's not a simple up and down situation. It is that you have a target of ensuring that no one is left behind and that there's opportunity for everyone to move up.
So he said, let me hear it again. So let me examine what this is saying and hear what the response to the person who's interviewing him saying, right? Because I mean, like he alone, because he's the Prime Minister now, so he alone our brain. All right, so let me go again.
He's trying to interfere with the bridge between the rich and the poor, because
so you say you're not trying to interfere with the bridge between the rich and the poor, but hear what she's saying again, critical thinker here.
Our rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty.
He's saying the poor must come out of poverty, so hear what she's saying here.
Right? So
well, that's kind of bridging the gap,
That is the equation. It's not a seesaw where one has to go down to the other one to come up. You have to find a way that you encourage the rich to get richer, because in getting richer, they create opportunities for the poor. Opportunity. And of course, if one wants to take advantage of opportunities that are made available, one has to prepare oneself and to make the sacrifice, to make the effort, because out of the effort will come reward. So it's not a simple up and down situation. It is that you have a target of ensuring that no one is left behind and that there's opportunity for everyone to move up.
If the rich go ahead doing the same things they do today, they say, all right, his logic was on point, right? And he really means to do well by the poor, right? why it is that the tactics that we have seen under every government never change how the poor lives. The same opportunities they claim they have, where are they? Right? But as inside the school would have been privy, especially in Trinidad, to be privy to knowing that that they shut down technical schools, right? They shut down a lot of programs, right? They make it very difficult for a man to be able to build on the income that he have, all right? When they check it out, how much does it qualify a man? Anybody just a quick estimate.
Organization
a quick estimate, right? How much does the bank require you to get a mortgage? I say everybody come out with a so-called equal opportunity, right? How much the bank does require you and your wife then to possess or to make on a monthly basis for them to consider then for a mortgage? I remember a figure from years back, so I might get shocked tonight. All right. Anyway, take a wild guess. Anybody on average?
It's like and a whole, they will look at your, let me say, your background on certain employment wise, right? Like on a staff and a whole, whether to see like if you're permanent in the system, some type of government job,
right,
on a daily basis, and they'll check your yearly salary to see what they pay yearly salary.
Right.
If it's like if you're making as they say the total, let me say like a 60,000 or to say on your yearly income or your gross income, then that would be that movement to really see that financial income or that loan or say that mortgage to come to effect like this.
Okay, all right. Any other takers? So what again? We share that up as well. Yeah, man. Feedback there. Because that person was real nice. They will be nowhere. I talk that way. I'll see why that's now. Anybody else? I'm a wild guess. How much is this thing then? You know what I mean? But man and a woman to start to shack up together, so to speak. I don't come in humble above, right?
Like a normal house we're talking about?
Yeah, well, let's say you wanted between 3 and let's say 3. A mortgage at 3 years. Say a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom house, wife and child, or they might be now start to make sure whatever the case is, and then you go to I want to call the bank because I might get a slap it with some kind of I shut down the channel or something, right? But I can't call the bank, but I will tell you something just now. Which
I would say 200.
Well, yeah. Between the two of you? No. How much they require to make a month between the two parties come together?
Oh,
right.
I would say 5,000.
What? No. The COVID season? No, this well again it was years ago. So I know there was that probably the time that I hear the information. I was like, wait, they're trying to really bust my head. I got too good. 10 to 15. That's something posted, right? Because the last time I heard was $18,000. That was the bare minimum they was required. $18,000 between the two parties to come together. Who making that? Who making that? How much minimum wages? Let's say 5 years ago, how much minimum wage was? Remember they had a dread back and all for that, right? Not too long ago, yeah? 14.50, right? That minimum wage. Out of that, you tell yourself, we in a society, you consider it a black man, not you only go and board up somewhere on, and then when they go and squat, what they telling you? You're doing it illegal, whatever the case is, right? But they are all the land, all over the place, scattered about and all that. Like Patrician the other day was back in Ireland, man, selling government land and say, well, why that he own, you know what I mean? So we are forcing for people to you're talking about it, and if you want to make the rich richer, who gonna make the rich richer? The 1% that is like the boss, right? How did this make the money? The 1% have some kind of magic pool, they have a nice little, big system running, everything like that, and they just make money like a money tree every month. How good at them? How they making money? Over who? The same poor people, they say, well, you ain't trying to bridge the gap, at all. He ain't trying to do nothing for the poor people in them. So when talking, we is at a zone into what is they saying, as I said this. But I might be the slowest. But I listen to him about 5 times to really catch what it is he saying. Every time them talk. You know what I mean? Because something ain't adding up. All right, well, let me hear the problem here now. So if that is the case, you want to make the rich richer and you make opportunities for the poor now. So why is you have a problem with this brother here now? And what is he doing, right? Let me get a touch on it here now, real quick. All right.
Speaking at a virtual meetup in Pickett's Corner, Belmont last evening, Dr. Romney said he is for their support in the scheme. He said,
you see, you reach out to the British government. After the video, you're going to ask yourself a question now, right? Because the kind of figures are here, the man spent to invest the choir into the TSS situation, right? Which it does look like is a threat to the richer. All right, let me go ahead.
And very soon, British officers will begin to probe the DSS matter.
I am disturbed. And because I was disturbed, and I am disturbed, and because of what it means, pointing to and fingering unacceptable levels of corruption in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, immediately I approached the British government, with whom we have a memorandum of understanding dated 2018 to cooperate on matters of national security. I approached the British government for help. And we are awaiting British police officers in the Trinidad and Tobago on that matter of the drug susu.
Additionally, he said he has sought the assistance of the Barbados government to establish a committee to also probe the DSS. He also said the DSS is not a susu, but a threat to national security.
There's a police officer, they're sticking money inside the code.
Barbados investigating officers are on the way to Trinidad and Tobago, and they will form part of a team that will comprehensively examine this matter to find out where, how, whom, and why $22 million could have been found by the police, enter a police station, disappear after, and nobody could tell the country what happened there.
Right. Now, if the government was paying the people and them, the police officers and all of that, the way they're supposed to pay them, right? That's one aspect. So we're gonna put one on your finger here now. Number 2, why does they learn to do that in the first place? Where they learn all that tactical advantage to be able to siphon money or to try and stick money, but they didn't think that camera some way. Some camera pick up on them. You know, so there's a little slack there, or it might be a hidden camera, which is good, right? Number 2. Number 3 here now, right? Why it is that we're not seeing the men and them names and all of that you say you're investigating and all of that come up in terms of, okay, you're not the city names, but they say I pull up these men and them here one time and I say, okay, let me investigate these men and them immediately. Because they have a pattern with so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. When there's a crime committed by any one of us, it has been plastered all over the news. All over the newspaper, it has always been there. But when it comes to any type of other race, you find there's a lot of discretion to be used. It is a private matter. The matter is all under investigation, right? But we don't get the same treatment. So there's a clear distinction in terms of who is society in society. Right. Right? We're not seeing the so-called Negro, you understand, being considered a person of society or somebody to respect. Because they're not respecting the name, they don't respect any hours and the pay, right? They ain't respecting the intelligence on another level altogether, right? So because they're doing that now, you have a situation like this, right? But if you know the government on top rotten, that's like everything else. If the fish, you understand, fish head corrupt, they know the whole fish corrupt. If follow, so that is why men will continue to do this, because they know that no repercussion will come. Because when Kamala and all of them, all I be hearing is men on the radio complaining and whining like little girls. If you see Prime Minister, the President, whatever the cases, and you say, well, this person, but they don't say nothing. You say they're violating something, but they hold them on a charge. Every time that game, and black people falling for that gimmick right through. So they're saying, okay, this one violate this and this one violate that. That is to play to your intelligence to make you feel like you're that kind of clown. And here's why: because you're not considered part of the society. If you was a citizen, you follow, then you know definitely you will go and, what do you call it, enforce your rights upon the people in them that rule over you. But that's not the case, all right? And this is the democracy system that we have here. All right. So we're going to run with the next video here now. And here the mind state of the people and them. This is the tricks, this is the trap we just fall in as a nation. Right? Thinking that these other races and them is on some kind of level playing field with us. And that is where a lot of licks is coming. All right. Yeah, right. Section 34. 170. Right. Yeah, because I mean that wrong, boy. How they go do that, boy? If all about that, not the conversation for us to have. That was a being closed doors between who's societarians, not we. All right. So that now, what we had to do
the public is
that now we had to do is fix your eyes on what it is that we could do as a people, and come off a trust in a society that not for us, but you'll delve into that and get more proof in it. We know we're a little attached now, you understand? We call this thing Stockholm syndrome now, right? But that never helping, never help, never will help, because it's not for us.
Right.
All right. So let me hear what the men saying, because the real whole real kick up, everybody's be vexing now when they see something go on, right? But they don't know that then we fight. We had to pick up, we fight. That is the problem.
Objected to many abuses of office by elected officials, none more recent than the Section 34 crisis. It is left to the people to hold them accountable. This is the story. As Trinidad and Tobago marked its 50th anniversary of independence, the very foundation upon which our nation was built, our Constitution was being callously manipulated by those entrusted to protect it.
Our Constitution. I had one time, we had at Sanjay times, as the scripture said, that once upon a time was really there too. Right? The brothers and them that they're really plugging in, you know, I mean, even up to recently, but you know, Officer Kobala to remind me of certain things. Say, boy, you know what, something, we just give ourselves in things that don't concern me, because that is not me fight. You know what I mean? Because this, you know, is the other nations, and we are no seat. Because I remember teaching on that already, what we call it, UN, right? We are no seat at the UN. If what we're looking for, right? Well, but there's a touch on that, because our nation, right? Look, that's to tell you how the programming is. Because when it coming up, all you're hearing is our nation, and everybody else is no. Our captivity is what we should be saying. And somebody, the dialect, the way we speak should go on, should start to change now. So whereby this captive land we in. That's like the brother saying, we name chronics. You understand? And capture land. That's what we is in. We is captures of this land, and they're doing whatever they want because they're the people that run the jail basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now black people have to go and see, okay, finally then I try everything under the sun and it's not working. Right? So now I have to look and see, examine what it is I'm doing, and then now I just seek out a solution. Because when things pain in me, that's what we just go and do. Right? The only problem is that we're looking for it in the wrong way, and then we're looking for a quick fix. And then we return back to the same exact thing like a mad person. Only mad people is that, doing the same things over and over, because every time we go and vote, every time we come in on the radio, there are plenty of people on a daily basis that just want to know by where let's give that time, understand, and energy and resources to do that, right? And by that, it's like Satan have a big firm somewhere, some big building in town, and it's hiring people to do that all day. You know what I mean? It's like that thing sickening. I don't know, people can listen to that over and over, right? Through the radio. I like that. Because it's just the same stupid ideas coming, you know, that's what's done. So every time you talk with somebody, you just have to go ahead and continue to break down that stupidness in their mind, right? And then if they're not in a place to hear, you understand, the washing of their mind all the time, they'll obviously return to that garbage, because that is what they have on the radio, on the TV. You understand? They're watching that, this is the way to live then, right? Because I ain't seen no other way. So I'm going to vote, because I'm thinking that some change will happen. At least I'm going to make, what you call it, small steps. I think there's somebody, I think it was one of the teachers in there, or maybe Commander General or General touching it, right? Why does we have to look for a seat at the table? The problem, you know why we do that? Because we don't understand that table doesn't belong to we. We come in and lots of us comes off master table.
Right.
And of course he can make it look nice, because he want to look like the cruel and inhumane beast he is, the monster he is, so he'll get a crumb. Right? Because if I can make it look nice, I make the work sweeter, because if I get incentive to one, that's like a good scheme. I guess somebody some, you know what I mean? So yeah, you instead of go falling easy, that is the trap we just falling. Yeah, that is the bubble. That is how dread this society is, how heartless and cold it is. Yeah.
The Cabinet. The Administration of Justice Indictable Proceedings Act was unanimously passed in good faith by the independent bench and
someone see there, yeah, like it's real serious, you know, like a briefing sit down in a military room and a thing. You lay the top. The violate the principles. And we getting caught up because this is mainstream media. This is the fight that we have as our people here now. You know what I mean? Especially the officers inside of here to be able to impact and really tear down this garbage, this foolishness in people's mind. Yeah? That they embedded for 50 years something. How long? 1962. From 1962 to 2002. I mean 2020. Right? That's what? That's 58 years to put along that garbage. And before that, right? They're going to touch on some real serious because we as our people just feel like this society, you know what I mean, was refreshed then when we get our independence. When we was a republic in 1976, like we get some type of new footing to do something. That's all lies. But all of that is just how the so-called oppressor just continue to keep your society running just the way you like it. There's a stink, filthy, disgusting, and you can walk away. He could literally do murder, and he could walk away. He knows it. That's why they just do it. If they don't know that there's something to back them up to be able to do that easy and not feel no repercussions where they wouldn't do it. But he's not that kind of man. You know what I mean? He's a man who shoot you from a distance. He'll never come up and fight in your face like that. I know he does play. He's play sting game. Yeah?
Opposition in both houses of parliament in 2012 in an effort to assist the judiciary in speeding up the administration of justice in Trinidad and Tobago. But there was a betrayal of parliament underway so sinister it would strike at the heart of our democracy.
It proclaimed a section which the Prime Minister said should not have been proclaimed. The Prime Minister offered Herbert Volney on a plate saying that he was the single and sole person responsible for misrepresenting a position to the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, and that his misrepresentation is what resulted in the Cabinet collectively agreeing to proclaim law which has been described as an absurdity, a surreptitious thing, a surreptitious and deceitful act of proclamation.
I think that Section 34 is the worst abuse of parliamentary process, worst abuse of the democratic process that the Commonwealth has seen in modern history. I think that the facts now established and out in the public domain show that our cabinet was ineffective, that the executive, that is the government, abused Parliament, that the assurances given to Parliament were breached and breached knowingly by our government. And in the end, it has come up to being an ineffaceable mark on our democratic process.
In July of 2012, the acting Attorney General, one Ganga Singh, the Minister of National Security, one Jack Warner, and the then Minister of Justice, Herbert Volney, attended a meeting with persons of the judiciary and with the Director of Public Prosecutions. And they were told certain things in relation to Section 34 and the act which came into effect and which has been proclaimed. And the Prime Minister says that those representations and representations made to Cabinet happened only at Herbert Volney's hands. And the Honorable Prime Minister does not tell us that in the two Cabinet meetings, when the note to proclaim Section 34 was discussed and then confirmed, two Cabinet meetings in August, she does not tell us that Ganga Singh was in the Cabinet, that Anand Ramlogan, the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, was in the Cabinet, that Jack Warner was in the Cabinet, that Prakash Ramadhan, the Minister of Legal Affairs, was in the Cabinet, and that those people, Jack Warner in particular, Ganga Singh in particular, had an opportunity to challenge the misrepresentation supposedly made by Herbert Volney. They stayed silent.
History will also show that on September 18, 2012, civil society, betrayed by the behavior of the cabinet and answering the call to action of the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley, spoke aloud with their feet, filling the streets in protest.
I believe in my heart that this government, Attorney General, they knew exactly what it was doing. And I believe that Section 34 was designed so that men like I.S.U.P.K and Steve could walk free men after the type of crime that they have committed against this country. I personally believe that. You understand? I believe it. And the thing about it is that this government is so bold-faced. And the reason why they try to make such a bold step is because they look at the poor man. You see the poor man and the grassroots man out here? You see the man on the block? You see the man selling the little joggers and the man selling the little nuts? They look at these people. They look at us as uneducated, stupid people. That something like that will happen overnight, and these people will not pay no attention to it. They wouldn't even know what happened there. You understand? So when they do things like this, they just walk scot-free. Because they look at the people, they look at the grassroots people of this nation as stupid people, that they could commit this kind of an act and get away with it.
Section 34, that's just one big conspiracy right now. You understand? That's just to get the two financiers out, you know. The government behind all of that. You see that money laundering thing, both of them try to get free, that's in right.
Can it ever be right for people who witness wrong to stay silent? Would it ever be right for the citizens of this country to know that the acting Attorney General, when he sat in July, and that the Minister of National Security, who sits and in large part manages together with the Prime Minister, the National Security Council, one of the most important entities in this country, could stay silent, witnessing a misrepresentation? That could never be right. That is the breach of the social contract between the government and the citizens of this country. That is the poison to the root of our Constitution. That is the cyanide pill which the population is being asked to swallow. What we have to realize is if we have people outside here that will speak for the innocent, that will speak for the less fortunate, that will speak for the less educated also. This government and the Attorney General will not get away with the stunt of Clause 34 that is trying to pull on this station. We are not accepting that. We are not taking that. You understand? And they're going to pay daily. They are going to pay daily for this act that is trying to pull on us.
Oh boy. I like it. It's sad, but it's funny as hell though. Why we laugh? You understand? It's because this white man is still out here. This oppressor is definitely Bible speaks. Right. Yeah? The only way that this man would have go and be so bold in doing something is because they see that Ashwan, you see the aspects or the things written in the Willie Lynch letter, right? It may not be like a man who was Willie Lynch, but in terms of the information they did, the psychological programming and the testing to see what go work. From the time they recognize that happen, yeah boy, you get you. You get you, and they always go on to them the scripture and say, what the pride that he had this evening. You know what I mean? So he ain't thinking what we talking about that. He get you here, right? Free slave labor, right? You understand? All you have to do, if they play mad, you just jump out. Yeah, because someone here would tell them, or everybody wouldn't be up to speed. Everybody wouldn't be up to speed. But somebody them fellas them went through these records them and find out Judith chapter 5. And when anytime these Israelites and these slaves and them sin against the Most High, it be their ruin. You understand? We could do them anything they want, day, night, whenever, thing, however we feel like, tell them jump high. Thing, and this is what we see here. This is the aspects of it. Because every constitution, you understand, was so on a national Broadway, and you know this what do they call it? The metropolitan society, you understand, or the multicultural society, Trinidad and Tobago so claim itself to be, and on the island, because the Commonwealth talking about all the nations that are the British rule. Remember, they are the people that unsigned under the Queen. You would see that in legislation under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. You would see it. I'll probably document this now. Read from it itself. Go ahead.
If I may, I think you're talking about the Commonwealth.
Yeah, the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth nation.
The Commonwealth nations. Yeah. So the Commonwealth is all the Caribbean nations, Jamaica, every day, everywhere you find that we reside and the British had rule over, fall under the Commonwealth. Right? So you'd see there's a list of them, right? And you'd see all of them, the Privy Council is the people that take the highest road, but they won't tell you that. You'll hear the Privy Council, but they'll mention like once or twice because the Queen and them want you to feel. When they want the slave now, you know, I mean, the stupidity, I feel like, you know, they ain't really jumping over, you know, you really doing that, but they tell me step out that line, what they gonna do? You understand? It's chop. Yes, sir, go ahead.
You know, like, we're bringing out there and we mentioned earlier on considering, you know, the same thing like we say, like General Mahayman really bring out
right.
the class now considering, you know, the dogs and then licking the swords.
Right.
Licking the swords, you know, the enzymes.
Correct.
Gain that sword and that.
Correct. Correct.
So the dogs, so them dogs and them now, they just as that why again every day there's always prophesy or talk against all religious leaders.
Correct.
Because all we going in there now, it's showing you now, them is the middleman.
That is it.
The middleman.
That is it.
Between us
Correct.
and them. And
Correct.
the Constitution, Amendment 54, whatever.
Correct. Correct.
Them is the middleman.
I'm right.
Between us.
Correct.
So them being the middleman between we and them now, who we walking after, them.
That is it.
So again, and I just say that that is very, very important.
That is what you wasn't supposed to let live. You wasn't supposed to suffer to live. Them kind of thing, right? But when we are apart from we call Jah, the Lord, statutes, commandments, and the protection that has come with us obeying the Lord. It's like a father, you want to obey my rules, I kick you out of my house. Go and see what it feels like. Understand to live on the streets. Go on, now you get accustomed to the dog licking your wounds, and they say, well, you have to take that. You understand? It ain't so bad. I ain't feeling the pain so much. You come like a painkiller, you get there and you're going to sleep. So these same men and them, that's the drug dealers and them, the prime minister and all of them. They got the jack one and all because they put them up and you watch all they talking. You know, they put it up like he violate, you understand, the rights of the citizens. So like you black man, you know what I mean? We in the same fight together. The man talking that's now there, right? The man that's selling doubles and the man that's selling nuts. Like, you know, like yeah, like we're one in the same, you know. Yeah, but if that was the case, then let me see what's giving them a chance. If that was the case, why, when it come across in 1845, they didn't establish that law there, that we can benefit from too? Well, they come from where? Well, they come from all this thinking whole country. You understand? With bad conditions and come across here to do something, you know, right? To what? To make sure that you just get, you understand, a little slice of the pie too. You ain't come here to do nothing good. They ain't no good citizen, you understand? They ain't no good people. So call these things, people already guess that's the reality, right? Nobody then taking and being going against one man. If that one man or one woman that may have a little morality or some kind of conscience among them, they know what we're talking about. Because they're fixing the whole society. They ain't going and telling Auntie, Nanny, whatever the case is, we need to pack up and go and leave the people, please. All the money we leave here, we get a good amount already. They ain't saying we go leave half. They staying and they keeping their belly gobbling up. What are you talking about? They're nice. When you go back, there's the dialects. They watching on me, and there's the Brahmas, they go press you, boy. And I'm good too.
They always
correct, damn right.
Always slide.
Damn right.
Always slipping.
Normal.
Yeah.
Why? Because the oppressor, the man who they join on with Psalm 33, the tabernacle Adam, he's the head man, he's the man that connect. If all of the connect making it easy for me to pump drugs and all kind of philosophy and garbage to the society. I see Negro people have business talking about happy Diwali then. You don't want happy Diwali, we talking about? And that's the Christian of them, eh? The Christian right about happy Diwali. They say, what wrong with all that? Who going up all their mind and all they go betray all their power. So what is all they really after? Really actually money is all their God. Because the only reason you're doing that is because you want to keep your job or some kind of thing. Like know yours, you ever seen them just run down anything in the Bible and say, well, okay, we're gonna say happy Passover? Let you say that now. I want you to watch it funny. You know, like you're trying to instantly they feel offended. You know why? Because we are greater than them.
Right.
We are. We have a greater responsibility and all that. They ain't doing it. They ain't fixing nothing. Only thing in them, they want to be so great on the earth, but they ain't fixing nothing. We conditions still lacking. You know, we can't buy bread on a daily basis. Look at the conditions in them, and they ain't telling me what to do. They say, well, okay, we'll keep all that at a certain level. They want to do that. They don't care. Man, go through for that, right?
Yeah. I didn't know where was seeing all the weekend salutations and them meeting. The doctor come out and make that statement. Well, basically how people destroy him. You know, that black man and come back and defend him.
It's Boston. Look at that. Yeah. When black man supposed to be for you own.
Yeah, for you own. Yeah.
And he was supposed to concern if the black lawyers and all of them together, but they so like, you understand, the sniff the oppressor and them behind. You want to smell and taste how the feces tasting. Because you want a Benz and you want a BM. So who to press who? To press who? You don't study all this kind of thing and them. You know all the loopholes and them have in the system, you know it. You know there's lock up black people, all that, but you continue to stay on the weaker side. And all the fight, you struggle, and all them years, 8 years or whatever you take to make a lawyer, all the fight in your mother and them pass through and all of that. So go ahead, you look how disgusting you is. To leave off and forget all the horrors they went through, to make sure you get something. So you go and answer them. I want to understand how come you white man, so like how come you oppressor? You must rub shoulders together. You're a fool, you're an idiot. Because you're fool, the fool saying in your heart, they're not God. Because you're doing this or not knowing that you'll get a reward and you'll get what it is you're looking for, wherever you're planting the ground that's coming up. You know what I mean? So here I'll do test to that. When you see them, brothers and them, don't feel them fellas intelligent at all in no shape, way, shape, or form. They can't look down no black man down and no get to. But you have more heart and more bravery, more soul, more care, more love, more forgiveness, all of that, than any one of them put together. All of them put together. All right. Like why Christ in, I come on the car and I say that same with now. But how come, you understand, thinking about it, right? A fisherman then, when you go in and look for fish, you know, you go in and fish, you know what I mean, where you know what it had a thing, you know what I mean, that thing pumping. Or some kind of spot, you go look for somewhere that, you know, you thinking, but you tell Peter and you say, oh God. I don't come out here, but Peter and say, but I mean, really, thinking, are you really feeling having thing, you know? Right, where does we go in there, and I really thinking, I know this spot might have all the thing now, you know? Or we fishing whole day and we get you up now, you know what I mean? But Christ now showing you a bigger aspect because if he's saying then that the harvest right, but the laborers few, which means it have fish to go and fish. It have thing to get catch, you know what I mean? But it's just be fishing, maybe how we fishing wrong. Maybe we're using the wrong bait. Maybe fishing in the wrong pond. You know what I mean? Because now he's saying that the man who beat in the chest and say, by his son, by I killed the man, by I really take the people them thing. You know what I mean? As a man really actually I realize about that and I have to go through all that and by that's the touch and eat that bread by that by. He say by that man, you understand? Because that man on this boy, you say now boy. So when I looking at the analogy here now, I say, but hey, I say man really know you talking about that and I really like zoning tight now. Because if you go in and telling Peter you're one, or they throw left on this side, I'm not sure they to catch them. It happened. But all they thinking now with the Pharisee mind, that is what going on. All they thinking with the oppressor mind, and that is why they really get you. You know what I mean? So now we have to do is we have to change our mind. You know what I mean? And that's what the I.S.U.P.K now helping a man condition his mind different too, because it's real garbage we learn. Real foolishness done on a bigger level, I'm telling you. Even for some of these brothers them sit down inside, I hear that. You know what I mean? Some of the men them that they really plug in. Some of the brothers who online, my man going through it for years then. When really thinking about some of the things he'd be saying then. Like you sometimes, you know, like it is really paying them then. You know, I can't wait to see by we really going through this and taking the same amount of licks then. Of course, like a big brother. You see your brother going down the road and you know, you tell him about that coat by that corner by that by. You're going, let me show you something now, right? Let me show you something, right? Because these men and them. Right? I can tell you everything about I'll show you. You're going to see that, eh? This is the cause of that. This is why these brothers are operating so much. If all us here one, is a man really actually no way close to them. But I tell I can't force you and make a decision, but you have to decide where you want to go. You know what I mean? To really come out for that so that no, you can really be a man that really actually assist them. Right? And make a change. You really want to make they really want to be a power in the community. You know, when these brothers are looking like they look in the block, you know, that drugs running. That little alcohol running, whatever little thing they are running, it running, you know what I mean? It might be a little CPEP contract somewhere, right? But it looking, you know, it looking like these fellas them have power, but at the end of it all, when you really do the analogy then, everything that they have, they're real temporary, you know. Because they know, well, by we don't decide we're going to live short, we ain't telling nothing, because they only know what you really have in this thing. You ain't going to stand up because I know what you might lock up by putting you under the bus. You're talking about, you're expendable then. That is your politician today. That is your pastor today. No? That is the same man by the corner. If all of the men them by the corner, these men them are a million times worse than them. They have no heart. Politics is a nasty game. None. You follow? the men in the corner have a better chance of coming in the kingdom than these men in them. That's the reality. That's the condition that these men in the mind. Which warrior?
Yeah, like general mind. Once say politics is a game for snakes.
Correct. Correct is right. For real. All the mapapi, all the anaconda, all of them. Small snake, big snake, all of them. You find them in there. And I can tell you a personal experience. I can tell you, I can't tell you who it is, you understand? But somebody you grew up with. When I school with my sister, all of that. Right? Real close, and how can I do different things? And then I see the individual that well come out of the skinner, right? Shed the skinner and I say, what? You different boy, meanest all and you picking up since you coming up. Right? But then I get to understand that is a hidden black face. Look like a nigga, Slovakia. Look like a nigga, black face then. And then the diabolical then, I'm telling you. So I know politics is a dread game and they can't come around with nothing. You know that. I know whatever the case is, you know what I mean? By civil, however. Oh, yes, sir. Right? So yeah. So them knowing what the case is, these politicians and them done, yeah, religious leaders and all of them know the system very well.
Right.
And they don't care. They have no inkling, you know, no call it. No appetite or no intention, I should say. Right? They're going to fix nothing. They're going to change nothing, they're going to assist in nothing. Yeah? So now the man on the lower level now seeing a man like himself now. And again, as you're talking about in the starting of the class, he's seen by a man rich by then by, that's somebody that go help you by. This man gonna be different by, you know what I mean? Because remember the legislation talking about citizens, and when you watching yourself as a citizen, that's the problem. Because they're telling you now, you know, you only see a citizen and you're a slave. Talking about. That's why there's plaster all in the news, you know what I mean? That's why I'm making sure that all the conditions in them is the worst thing in the face of the earth. That's why I'm making sure they're living like cockroach, stick up between two another. That's why I'm making sure put in any other place that you must go and rob, steal, kill something. Because I know once I can separate you from how you're supposed to be thinking, and you're not thinking as a collaborative, as a collaboration, that's why they never push to establish no association for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. It's Indian community they come across here. 1845 and they have one. The Mahasaba, you know. The Chinese them same way. Come across and they have their association. The CNN come across here. Look at the lies themselves. They come across here and covered on the back. If all of them sell capital, all kind of thing. So to reach the multi-millionaires, billionaires, whatever they study. Right? Like we real club now. If all when you open them, when they go in charms and things like that, you see we and then basis on them. That's what's going on because the real fairy tale is telling people. Is that the case then? This society is not for slaves. It's never, this government was never built to help out no slaves. Right? And unfortunately, we become the slaves of the society because of our disobedience to the Most High power. All right? Lamentations 4:17, because somebody had to paint the picture. That is what we just do in the I.S.U.P.K. Help you see the picture clear, broad, because nobody gonna take your head and open your eyes so and put you in front of the TV and show you what is what. They're not interested in that. And then your pastors and them, they don't know. Because the same man who ran all this scam and who's the deceiver on the earth, he's the man making sure that he teach your pastor and telling them, hey, say this, say that, you follow? This way does your teaching here. Because if you're still in a class, if anybody ever went to a so-called theological school or whatever, right? Or you was around, your sister went to something, my sister went to theological school, right? They're telling you now, you know what I mean? You have to stick to the curriculum. That is what you're focusing on. Later on, you can learn other things, right? Diabolical. They're making sure that you never get an idea of how things supposed to be at all. No way, shape, and form. Because your search can right? So somebody gave me Lamentations 4:17, Babakisha. What we're gonna do here now is we're gonna see what it looked like to be looking, as the scripture say here, for people, you know what I mean, that ain't for your good.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Good job.
As for us, our eyes are yet peeled for our veiled heaven. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Right. All right. Is it?
All
right. So let's one. All right. So we're watching for a nation that government come, government go, not putting up programs in place and following up sequences to make sure that us as a people, there's benefit. You come here and you meet Native Indians, and you know they desecrate their places on them. Where's the museum? Where's the place in the museum? You follow that they should be probably getting money, right? For looking at the artifacts that they have here.
Right.
Where's the benefit they're getting for that? Right? Where's the benefit they're getting for all the inventions and all of that they use? Where's the money that's supposed to be given to them for all the land that you take? Where's the relocation plan? Where's the relocation for them? Why it is you come and meet them here, but they don't have no school? It have Presbyterian school, it have Catholic school, it have Anglican school, it have all kind of different religious thing. There are no school for them. Masaba, they come here in when it is 1845, right? A stone throw away. About 160 years somewhere around there. And they had a mass, they have the big what do you call it? The temple. They had a big temple and all of that, but they come in and they have an allocation in the budget every year, and they make sure that they gain something. You follow? They gain you so what do you call it? Emancipation Day. And you had to fight for it too. Right? You know what I mean? And you know African, you know. They're making sure that they get a nice line up to again. You know? What? When they talk about bait, talk about that, them is the dreadest set of drug dealers on the planet. Okay, think the fees them is run after crack, and you get happy and you get nice in many cases. Look at what's going on and we watching down the drug dealer, not knowing that we more sick than the piper. Right. We as a nation more sick than them because they follow at least getting a reward for something. We not getting nothing. When they go on hustle, they go on thief and all kind of things, they go on by the crack. Right? They gain high, they gain many cases, they gain destroyed, yes. But we gain destroyed for free. And as a people, you follow? When I say nation, I don't come out of Trinidadian or Tobagonian. That is the next piece of garbage altogether. Right. But I'm talking about we as a race of people getting destroyed every 5 years and on a daily basis. On the radio station, it's like, yeah, right? So what it is we're going to get into, and we're going to see, according to Lamentation 4:17, and what it is they're talking about here, this nation here, these things was never designed for us as a people. Understand this? And then we could begin to detach. Then we could really see, okay, and then examine. Now, this man, I wonder if he lying or he just want to talk, right? But he has some kind of agenda. You know, black people always have some kind of, always feel bright. You know, and you know, how they the university. Right? But not knowing that they need the garbage university outside, unfortunately. All right? So, here's what they're saying now, what we call it, the 10 aspects of how to run a country, right? So, the quote from John Adams now, next slave master, right? Actual slave master, believe it. I seem to read the history of all ages and nations in every page, especially the history of our country for 40 years past. Change the names and every anecdote will be applicable to us. That is men talking code for the same country they came and they stole from the Native Indians in the States. Everything you follow that they go and talk about does not concern us. They come like we by the master door and people in and listening in here. What master say for we today, why? You know what I mean? Garbage. When you're supposed to be looking at the Lord door to find what the men of them that he have, your forefathers let them say to do. Because I fall for that dupe. The Buddha does look like Buddha, the Buddhists and them does look like them. Krishna, all of these different things does look like them. But we doesn't even want to know. You understand? Who we forefathers and them is. They could tell you who the 6th and 5th grandfather, they could tell you stories coming on the line. They could tell you what money Father Razak. When last somebody tell you what money on the slave ship? It's like it's a good yeah, man, go ahead. Right? When last somebody give you that thing that happened here? Boy, when we was in the cotton field then, look what happened here. We're so terrified. Even if somebody have that memory there, do you want to bring it out? It's like we want you to have all the happiest memories in the world. Right? Because you know what has happened when we started to tell only the truth. What has happened is because, hey, you slave masters come and kill all you out. You just going to rape all you, understand, and do all manner of evil on all them. That's what happened to your forefather. Right? And that's as far back as they could tell. Now maybe 4th or 5th for the most. Guaranteed. I could put, you understand, if I get $10 million now, I could put the whole $10 million on that, they can't tell you the 6 and 7. If one person 14 like that, I lose my $10 million and I have no problem with that. Because I tell you how confident I is knowing the kind of the shit all of us are doing to me as a people. Alright? Marcus Tullius Cicero, right? He's a Greek person, you know, and giving Greeks or the people that descend from them certain pinnacles then on leadership and good governance, right? So remember, he was marginalized from the Roman Senate, frustrated with real power. Cicero began to write about how government should be run. As Caesar conquered Gaul and subsequently crossed the Rubicon, plunging Rome into civil Jerusalem. Is in Jerusalem. Where the African tribe be from? Where is? They're the same model here they're using to run government on the side, right? A democracy, right? So he asks questions that still resonate today. What is the foundation of a just government? What kind of rule is better? How should a leader behave? Who does come to your community, right? And if they make a survey of what it is you see happen in the last 20 years, a survey like that, right? They might come at 5 years if they thinking scheme, if they are a good schemer, they might come at 5 years, right? When is the last person come 20 years and say, okay, what it is you all see happening within the Laokita region, within the Tunapuna Piakoko region, between the Tabakit and Point Fortin region, right? In the last 20 years, say that must be seen, changed, and followed up upon to make sure that the same allocation for the budget you all have, make sure it gets spent in the community. And then they take on the ideas of the geniuses and if there's any that consider the people. Who was doing that last? Anybody? I know you have people here that over a decade, and at least over a decade. I want to give all the age now, you know what I mean? Maybe again, I can't hold now, you know what I mean? But when has somebody come to that, doing that? Or what your parents did? They can tell you. So what government is talking about then? We just be talking about we is a republic. This is not this society in for we. You know what I mean? The society was designed so that the slave master could eat. I did have more coming on the line, but I'll probably do is drop it. In fact, I might confuse all it. Right? So I will leave this here, but here I just reading all the topics, the headset, right? So there are universal laws that govern the conduct of human affairs. Who does go in with communities and them and decide, okay, a CN we're going to Rasta City and ISIS unruly. Who did? If all they get all the chance in the world, who went and sat with them? They followed the power that they have, and go with all the police and all the army and all the defending that they control. They have rule over it. When they want to go on campaign, they just utilize the same thing. Who went and go and fix that situation or try to do it? The thing that's going to Jeopardy. Nobody, not a soul then. This government again is not for us, right? You're going again. So verse, the next topic, the next header, right? The best form of government embraces a balance of powers. Balance of powers, which part? Now, I might be a little biased. Okay, then, yeah. True. Leaders should be expected to be exceptional character, should be of exceptional character and integrity. What are you talking about? What's the definition of that thing? Anybody there that's care about that in the government? But then everybody making campaign promises, everything like that. But anything about it, right? Psalm 94 and 20, Babakasha. Anybody? Anything about that? As General Maimon saying, remember, campaign, they can make any promise. Once it's not legislated, then they can't utilize it. Which 94 and 20, Babakasha. Yes, sir. Right? So anything they can make a promise on the campaign, but you know what I mean? It sounds so sweet, right? Why not say it? And so when you look at the government for this society, really and truly, it's just about games, right? I think it more than himself, Salakia. They just consume them. You know what I mean? Anything is like, as one person, I want it for 10 people. I watch them politicians sometimes. You know what I mean? Salakia, you know what I mean? Yeah, give me that game, Babakasha. When you have it.
Because Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Shall the throne of iniquity, you know what I mean? Good governance. You know what I mean? The red party, yellow party, the rising sun, the palisade, great is thee. Yeah, go ahead. All right, tomorrow. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Which frame it mischief? By a law?
By what?
By a law?
Frame what? What do you frame by law?
Which frame it mischief? By a law?
Which frame it by law? You know why? Because every time, I mean, it's not legislated, you know what I mean? It's a campaign promise, you know. He was unable to do it. But for 5 years, I sit down in the office, and instead of they actually doing something, you know, they're spending more time doing, ducking you in. And they can spend the same time and probably less to utilize the same manpower you have. You know what I mean? You had these soldiers getting fat in the barracks. Real cold and on a daily basis, wherever the case is, men shooting at this body, twiddling the thumbs. You have the ability and you're not doing nothing. You know what I mean? So again, that is just a foolish game, a figment of imagination to do something. Go ahead. Now, Salak, jump over that, and then we go into Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 19 to 20. Telling you. So right. So we as a people, you know, I mean, whoever it is might, you know, catch on as soon as possible and begin to examine it. You know what I mean? Most Lord do it here, for real. But that is very rare to come out of society with that like cocaine spread everywhere. You know what I mean? Remember the thing in this thing with Spartans, and that's the man with the kind of Smeagol man. Yeah, and you run around, you trying to get a little taste everything, and all kind of nastiness going in the room, and you want to get a piece of the action. That is how they have us conditioned here as the slaves in the society. That is what Hantam out look like. Alright, read on, Baba Gesha.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 19.
When?
Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in.
When you come in, right? When you come in the house, we'll be cursed, which means punished, right? We are not punishment. Go ahead.
And cursed shall thou be when thou goest out.
And cursed when you go out, right? Because that all kind of dangers we have to face. All kind of situations then, right? Come down on a regular basis because they want to make sure that we always are the hands of them to do whatever they want when they come. That's just what it is. Main fact, you don't have enough money, you go steal. Or you go and trick somebody somewhere and all in a bacchanal, and then, you know what I mean, he'll kill you. Right? Like one. Then you have the next thing, right? You make call it the employer now, go entice you somewhere to go and snitch on somebody in your workplace. Right? What will happen? You know what I mean? All kind of bitterness happen out of that. If the person kill you, if you all in fight, there's a whole cycle of negative effects coming with that because everybody coming up with a different mind now. That because this allowed here in the workplace, I ain't not gonna trust nobody. You know what I mean? I ain't not gonna do this. You see me? I don't have to do this. So I don't care what it is them are saying. That people that serve at the counter over the years, I don't care. Because I don't know what them on the garbage. So distract the whole movement of how we're supposed to be thinking, right? Because we in a part of a very corrupt and disgusting society.
Right.
That is why I have all these different complaints about the government system and all that, because that is what the government want. That's what they want. That's what the government want, numbskull, you know what I mean? So we that slaves in this society, that is what they want for us. At the end of the day, and not so by chance, so by design, right? Because remember, Babylon means what? Babylon means what? Confusion, right? So the whole system of Babylon here, which we'll go into a little bit, right? You can see that. You can see that, you know what I mean, that they want it to be a confused place. When you say you want a metropolitan system and a cosmopolitan country and a mixing pot, where, you know, we have, what do you call it? Every creed and race find an equal place. That is not where you meet when you come here in the first place, right? You run from that side because, you know, the country was no fair place. You come and conquer here because you was greedy. Christopher Columbus and them, right? They was looking for the place where the Israelites dwell because they don't know it have money on the side. It all kind of different things, and it have the Lord's chosen people where you want to oppress. So there are all kind of different aspects that you know that once that we in a place we could get leverage, we'll take full advantage of it. That is how they shoot you from a distance. That is the sniper that you don't see. That is the sleeping pill, you know what I mean? The cyanide pill that he said that was given by Fonley and whoever. That is the cyanide pill that they just distribute. He's a drug dealer. Parasite is a drug dealer that. At the mine. You know what I mean? But you? So like here. Baba Gasha, yeah?
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 20. The Lord shall send upon the person.
Cursing, punishments, go through.
Vexation.
Vexation, you're angry every day, go through.
Rebuke.
Rebuke. You understand? Because Israel correction, all we got Israel correction, all kind of depending up then. We done?
In all that thou settest thine hand to do.
Everything you put your hand to do, you know what I mean? You find like boy, Israel pain, real pressure. You know why? Because in the wrong, we got it, the wrong mind state and in the wrong place. So how the Lord says supposed to do things, but that has happened when we come away from the instruction of the Most High. You're not there. You come again in Father's house. He know how to cook, you know, to wash, how to clean, how to plant garden, how to, you understand, do this, how to do business online. You know all them things. But you decide, okay, well, I get in a little small thing. I go try and do them more. You know what I mean? Small thing, the heathens and them look how they doing it up. You know what I mean? It have all kind of orgies happening, all kind of nastiness everywhere. I find that looking real good to take part of. Boy, we gonna see you going anyway. When this man smoke cocaine, boy, look how he is afraid. Boy, I got some of that. Not knowing the layer, you're an interior juggle. It look nice. It look decent. It look like something like fun. You know, all the artists and them on the radio station, you know, selling crack thing. You know what I mean? Horse thing. You know what I mean? We no suck. Hey, fast life. YOLO. You only live once. It look nice, eh? But look at the end result. And that is voting for you. Because look at the real campaign. In the church, you come up and the real singing, the real thing, and hey, boom, this is your season. They're going to get through. They're going to prosper. Wait. That's drugs. You know what I mean? Go through.
Until thou be destroyed.
Until thou be destroyed. Because that is always come back to square one, not seeing no way, and frustrated, vexed, and upset. Because, you know what I mean? The scheme ain't work for we now. The scheme is not for you. You know what I mean? That is what the government is. It's not for us. We don't.
And until thou perish quickly.
Right, until you perish quickly. Because you know why? Right, if not in the jail, in a box somewhere. Right, that is going to be. And then if you're not in the box, it comes like you're walking dead. Because you're spiritually dead. You know?
Because of the wickedness of thy doing.
Because of the wickedness of your doings, leaving off your culture, your laws, your statutes, your commandments. That is the wickedness of your doings. It's the fruit of it. You know?
Whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Whereas you're forsaken him outside, you know what I mean? Leave off and say, all right. You can do it on your own, you know what I mean? My back broad, hey, small thing, it go happen, you know what I mean? Because I seen the car down the road, you know what I mean? Look, Jim and them and Krishna and them getting through. I go get you too, you understand? Don't get tapped. I don't care. What them want to tell me, boy? Talking about, boy, let me sell my drugs in peace, eh? Let me push my politics in peace, eh, boy? Let me go on, what call it? What the Christian say? God was only God could judge you. You know what I mean? And only God know my heart. And you know, all kind of garbage. And this is the result. You leaving off the instructions of the Most High. Look at here. You ain't want to see what this is saying. You don't want to know. You know what I mean? All right, from there, jump to verse 28 and 29, Baba Kisha.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
What is the definition of insanity again?
I believe it is one.
Same thing over now. So wait now, we're going to vote every 5 years then. And we see it. A lot of people need to get, you know, their mentality checked. In fact, the same people who check in your mental mad. They all of a sudden, no, you're in real trouble. That is a clear picture. If blind leading the blind was a person or a psychiatrist. You know what I mean? Was your politician and your religious leaders. That's what it is. We done.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
Right.
And blindness.
And blindness because you can't tell, you understand where the play coming from. I just feeling pain. I can't tell where it's coming from. It's the same society you're trusted in. You follow? But remember, your person making sure that you get connected with your records. But the Lord is not a man, he's not a man that he should lie or, you know, he can take for long. Because a man of war. So what he go do is he go chop away somebody and he make some room for you to get it. And hence you have the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. You know what I mean? We don't, Baba Kosha?
And astonishment of heart.
Astonishment of heart, boy. Boy. Pain. You know what I mean? You want to know what's going on. Your mind astonishing your mind like, hey, boy. Can't make no kind of forward at all, but real pain. You know?
Verse 29. And thou shall grope at noonday, and as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Right, so we go open at noonday because after this is somewhere I wish I could put my finger on it, you know what I mean? But so looking for the way. I feel it's by PNM. I get fed up with them are going by UNC. Them are going by COP. Fed up with them some other party will come up. Somebody, I mean, yeah, by God love you, boy, God with you, boy. Something will change by in the same politics system. You done?
And thou shalt not prosper in thy way. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore.
Only oppressed and spoiled evermore. Let me get the definition of what oppressed mean, right? Oppress. This people just feel like, you know, like this is a way they can take off now. Let me not know it is a permanent oppression, is a permanent load. You understand that we under on a regular on a daily basis, sorry. Our nation as a whole facing. Right? Oppress. Subject to harsh and authoritarian treatment. I want a better one. Let me find a better one, right? Webster. Right, look at here. Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? Definition of oppress, right? Burdened by abuse of power or authority. Right? Remember with the slaves, it follows. So when you think that because we're not getting whipped no more or raped, you understand, physically, you think that was adjustment or something better. Not knowing that because you get drugs, you know what I mean, and the oppressor learn how to mix that potion real nice and give it to you. And they get a hit and you think, well, boy, yeah, boy, I get a little salary here, boy, a little piece here, boy. You know what I mean? I get a little, we call it a little car to drive, boy. They making loans by what? I have paid till January, boy. I get through, boy. Because you make the jobs very nice, you're going, you know. You say, well, all right. We're free now, you understand? We're free. You know, we now citizens, boy, you get through. I said national children to be good. Kind of good. Yeah. Damn right. Damn right, because he don't know, well, he's the biggest drug dealer in the face of the earth. All I did is just show up because I was God in it. You know why? I'm paying the image of God as me. That's not what they can tell me, you know what I mean? I's a made man. You know where the made man come from? The Italian made man. We is not made man. You follow? Yeah. We need to make up your mind and this is how come out of that madness. Right. Because it's just a cycle, and what they'll continue to do is give a little token, you go here, a little something. It means that the thing can run, it can look like, you know, like it promising. All you have to do, you know what I mean, just juggle in the corner for a little bit down, and then you coming up there, you're talking about racks then, racks. Yeah, and everybody on BTA, boom. Out of the small pool of talent, I look at who might have the most influence and who are the pain story. You see the pain story, oh gosh, you got to turn that into a powerful story. You know what I mean? Come like that is the hot TLC. You know, the station TLC, you know, all them sad stories that we want to plug into. Yeah, there's the hot TLC then. But you want to come up then, that is not to come up. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to understand that ain't not come in no way, shape, and form. That is a continual poison, and that is how drug dealers push drugs. You feel you watching the man in the corner and feel like he's a real damage. That's a pressure, brother. That man, that is the man that the scripture say must be revealed. Yeah, you put that later. All right. So with that, let me go over to Deuteronomy, same 28 verses 43 to 45, Baba Kusha. Pull up this thing.
The book of Deuteronomy, 28 and verse 43.
Right.
The stranger that is within thee,
right,
shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Right.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
I pause right there, right? Even if we was African then, where's the African credit union? Dun, 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 dun. Where's the African, you know, where is the Zulu tribe association? Where's the credit union? Oh, wait now, did it have Hindus before 1845? We have a Hindu country, no? Don't we? Yeah, boy, you know what I mean? We are not citizens. They set it up so that they can benefit. You know, we started to say that a couple of times for it to really stick now, you know, for it really to hit home. There's no Hindus, there's no Israelite. There ever be in this society, any, you understand, Canadian like that have any approval from government and no proper state. You know what I mean? If we manage to get it done, you know what I mean, might be real hell to do that. You know why? Proof and put in DSS. Right? Anytime you look like a force to even help your so-called Negro brother, you understand? Latino, Native Indian need something. And the thing is, they're allowing everybody to come in. They even separated it. But boy, there is a force to be reckoned with. How this man, this so-called black man that not NB records, not as a part of the bully, if all of getting there, how could we allow him to have all that money? 100 million? So if you have 100 million normal, you must have 200 million somewhere up the island, somewhere, you know. But it's got an offshore account. Yeah, go through, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, like yes, sir. If I may, as we were talking about if they say we so-called Africans,
right,
and they say we so-called free now, right? Where is the bank of Ethiopia into that?
Right, thank you. How come they didn't come across here and bring the bank, right? How come Zambia and have bank of Zambia here and we benefiting off it? Always Africans, emancipation day. There is a powerful point there. I ain't look at that. Musa and guys done. Well said, Officer Mike Cross. Appreciate that. Look at that. Look at all that. So we see in then that there is no West Bank of Nigeria, Bank of Ghana. We must take ourselves, you know, and request all of them to go and voyage for them. That is what is used again as a drug dealer. He's a corner boy. He's not no big, he's not the connector. He's a corner boy and they're using him to make the dope game look good. So everybody going across, go to Ghana and get your citizenship. You follow? African culture, Africans boy. Which part? Why did they not bring the Ghana self and come in the community, you know, and so-called help, if that is what they want to do? Yeah. So you see how that comes now, it tastes like dust now, It dust, then it crumbs and the master table now looking like dust. We're supposed to be giving out them crumbs because they don't know how to think. They're not on nothing righteous. It is look so, you understand? Because all they learn to do. That's all they can do. When you do have natural talent, what are you going to learn to do? That's what the scripture says, so live by his sword. when I say natural talent, but when you're not, you understand? When you do have what the most I give to the children of Israel, that flavor, that sword, because we just have it in different variations, right? You don't have the Lord, you understand? Blessing like on you as a nation. Obviously, you got to turn to all kind of different criminal elements to try to make yourself seem better than us. That is what they call an inferiority complex. You know what I mean? That is what your oppressors have. So they'll never change their ways. Never. You understand? Because they know they're inferior. All right? So let me get up the definition of democracy, you know, and all of it, and aristocracy. Big up General Mahima again for that that we call it, that aristocracy thing. I line before we come in here, Dan. I was real dumb. I ain't got to you know nothing. All right, so what we have here, the definition of democracy. That's what we under today, right? So the democracy is a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives, token Negroes, right? You'll find there, right? That is you understand your politician here, your politician there. Anytime a politician decides that he don't want to stand in his own culture and stand up as people as he should properly, he will not be there any longer. Very simple. He will not get the opportunity. I ain't gonna say I understand, but I sure many brothers come across this when they speak with a politician or anything like that. What is that? They just take the safe seat because they know that dust of the master table that stays like cocaine. No, when they get hit of that, score. You know what I mean? So they ain't like that. They're not let going of that just so. All right. So we go here now. The aristocracy. This is what we have as our people, you know, right? So here it is, definition of it. The highest class in certain societies, typically comprising people of noble birth holding hereditary titles and offices. That's what the Lord gave to us, other people. Remember, you say when they get your law, we're supposed to tell them when they sit down, when they rise up, when they get up, when you do this, when you go out. But now we go in, when as the scripture now says in Deuteronomy 28, we curse when you're going out, we curse when you're coming in. If all as opposed to being blessed because we are operating in wisdom. By the knowledge of the Lord, how He designed the whole atmosphere to run. We are operating and thinking like that. If all of then we could only see the benefits of it. But now you not attached to your culture, you don't even know you're an Israelite. You call yourself a Trinidadian that was established 500 years ago. Right? Or whatever it was that time. But now we are a republic from 1962. So you know born. But your race though, it's like aliens really, how they put it, really exists. And they drop you come from some other dimension somewhere and they just drop you here. Like how they say, like you drop like a breadfruit. Yeah, so like you like a breadfruit and you know born 1962. That way you're telling yourself when you say that's not true in the big when you're real proud of that. As opposed to just utilizing it for whatever you can use it for, because they're not stopping use you. They have no intentions to. They're here for you to even understand piece of this or who you is, so that you can walk as you're supposed to, because they don't have it. Alright? We reached there on Deuteronomy. The 45, 43 and 45 read already? Slakia. No, Slakia, I think that read already, right? 43. Yeah, where we stop? Them that above you, they shall get above you very high.
Yeah.
Right?
He shall be the head, and thou shall be the tail.
Right. As we see today. We is what they're talking about. We is the tail today. There's the head. That's the evidence. So again, the I.S.U.P.K is paint the picture and connect the dots, so that you'll be able to see who the Bible is talking about. This Bible is not for everybody, it's not everybody book, because the actions and the punishments for it is not facing everybody. Alright? We done?
Moreover, all these curses,
all these punishments, go ahead,
shall come upon thee.
They will attach to you. They will be a marking on you. This is who these people is. Because this is the punishments that on them. That is what in this society, in the household, in the mind, everything. You know?
And shall pursue thee.
Shall pursue you, run it down, you follow it, like the police running it down. Go ahead.
And overtake thee.
Overtake you. Definitely catch up with you. Go ahead.
Till thou be destroyed.
Till you be destroyed. We are destroyed. For lack of knowledge, a lack of direction, a lack of leadership, and all these different things that's not there. You know, not in the government. You understand? Again, let's reiterate. If anybody you know coming on, the government is not, you understand, your leaders. They don't govern the slaves. It's not beneficial to the slaves. You don't?
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes,
right,
which he commanded thee.
Right, because this is what happened to me. Because I mean, you had everybody mercy, not under the protection of your father's house. So obviously, this is what's going on here. So when we thought that was our opportunity to explore the world, yeah, boy, that was a sore disappointment. All right. So from there, let me go into Deuteronomy 17 and 15, because the democracy system here now, let's see if that is what the Lord says should be done. For whoever queries now. Whoever say, well, boy, when you're talking about the Bible is for everybody. You know what I mean? God don't hate, and God only have, God will have one people. The Israelites and them, they didn't want to obey the Lord, so everybody get now. Them is the and for them that we don't even believe that there's the Israelites and calling themselves Gentiles in a more hidden fashion. Then they believe then that that they have to stick up with the oppressor now to be called, to become part of who it is God loved them, or who God is deal with. So the prayers go get answer, they will get blessed, and they feel like, like if I want my Christmas to be good, if I want a ham and a turkey, I have to stick up and go to church, and pay my love offerings and celebrate Pastor Appreciation Day. All this is that nonsense. Right? So let's see what the Bible is saying with regards to who we're talking about and what are the traits of the leaders that the Lord appoint. Baba Kashar.
17 and 16.
And 15. Baba Kashar.
17 and 15.
All
right. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Right.
Whom the Most God shall choose.
Who the Most High Power shall choose, not who you shall choose, as opposed to the democracy that you want to follow after. That is not what the Lord choose. Read on.
One from among thy brethren.
One from among thy brethren.
Shall thou set king over thee.
That is the man who the Lord, understand, will set king over him, because he will say to the prophet, there's the prophet here now, and the Lord approved this here to the entire nation, and this is who the king, this is who the Lord set king over you, ruler over you. Right? That is what we're seeing as a trend in the Bible. We're not seeing that today in nowhere else. So when you see one of you, you know you're talking about the race. You follow? Because these the same conditions here, and who it is it was talking to in Deuteronomy 1:1, you know you're talking about you. Right? Read on.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Thou mayest not set Faris Alwari over you. Thou mayest not set call it Anand Ram Logan over you. Thou shalt not set Kamla Prasad business over you.
Right.
Pandey, Narain Singh, Kusum Singh, Chusung Singh, Chungbang, wherever. There is not to be, you understand, the people over you, right? So you're making a grave mistake by putting people that are not qualified and don't have, you understand, your culture, your mind, the things that the Lord say that's supposed to be in you. They don't understand nothing concerning that, so they could never deal with your problems when they arise. That's why they don't get dealt with, basically. All right, read on.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
It is not thy brother, because I mean, who in a household then, right? Will usually go through things together. Or in a family then, let's say in a family, who usually the mother and the child go through things together, or who? Or let's say in a neighborhood. Let's take it in a neighborhood aspect. When I talking about go through things together, I mean like you're going down the street, you know what I mean? And they're bounce up well, let's say after school. You're going to go down the road after school, and you bounce up a situation whereby, okay, the man was looking real good hangover, you know what I mean? And we hungry now, boy. So what we go do, boy? And we calling and we call and nobody home. So we go do. Who's the man going to bounce up that with you? Just to make a small analogy, because it could go bigger than that. We have real situation to deal with, right? And then who's the person that would usually bounce up that with you? Narain Singh or Bobby? Yeah, brother. The scripture say, brother, you know, the Lord is talking away, you know what I mean? Some niggas gonna really plug in, you know what I mean? Because he's the man that gonna rock with you. You gonna face it together. You gonna grow up in the same neighborhood together. It's only because of this garbage but in the Middle East and then Iran and the place. And who's the neighbor? They call him Kishmael, not Bobby. You know what I mean? Not Larry. You know what I mean? Or no, we call it Samuel. You know the neighbor. So the Lord saying, you know what I mean? That your brother is the man who go through things with you. That is the man who you can set over you because he understands the condition you facing because he grew up in it too. He grew up in your culture too. Yeah? You don't know, Baba Kusha?
Come. Dog Salakia, that is verse 16.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
But he shall not multiply horses to himself.
Shall not multiply riches to himself. That we're talking about, the analogy again, right? At that time, if you have plenty of horses, of course, you esteem a rich man because it take a lot of things to groom and take care of horses and all that. So you have plenty of horses, well, yeah, you really get true. Right? You don't, Baba Kusha?
Nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
Or cause the people to return to Egypt. And this is what you want to stick up in real quick. That is what your pastor doing, a politician doing, on all of that. Egypt means bondage. Right? If you had to pull the definition for you, we could pull it. That is to tell you how different the Most High is. You want to make sure and make it a real plain for you, so you're no confusion in your mind, you're no confusion at all. You let you know that them making you go back to Egypt. Egypt is where you destroy for all the ways and all the wickedness that they're doing. Them people that oppress you and will pay follow and had you understand, maybe the first place known where we was on drugs. Right? In terms of on a wide scale basis. The opium and all that. You know what I mean? Them really responsible for all that. So when you say Egypt, you know bondage, you don't want in no way, shape, or form be under that curse. Be under that. Right? So the leader you're pointing over you, I choose. Not, you understand, not going and operate or no way close to what it is I see here with these men and them. With your pastor and them, with your celebrities and them, with your politician and them, and all these different men and them. That government they're talking about, the heathen and them, that's for them. That is not for you. Right? We done? Baba Kasha, sorry.
To the end that he should multiply horses for as much as the Most High had said unto you. Ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Right, so when I take you out of Egypt, because you now come out of Egypt, and that's the next story, the next point, sorry. The next heavy point is, and now take you all out of Egypt. So anybody that resembling anything that all they face in Egypt here, I want nobody, you understand, over all in the way sheep, you know, no way close to that. I want them smelling like Egypt. You follow? When today we have a whole different scenario. We mix up in Egypt. Right now, we tattoo Egypt right now. But all over your mind, all over we eating everything. Eating crab, shrimp, lobster, all them different things. Egypt is doing what they want. Right? As opposed to what the Lord said we had to do. Right? From there we go on to Isaiah chapter 30. And whole Isaiah chapter 30. But we're going to, and then from verse 1 to 3, but we're going back to the same Deuteronomy. Read on, Baba Kisha.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. That is hard.
So okay, go ahead. My word. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Yes, sir.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. That his heart turn not away.
Right.
Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
Boom. Right. So more than lawful, you understand? For a man to have more than one wife, woman outnumbered. When you look at the common sense of everything, the Lord knows exactly what we do. Different breakdown. Right? So with regards to that, the man can take on more than he could carry, or you understand, make sure that the other brothers and them have an opportunity to get wives. You know what I mean? Because you know how good this society is. On TV you're seeing a man and he wants the woman in the same room, which is an abomination in the first place, but the room full of women. So you must get all the women, plus you must sleep with other men women, plus they're disgusting. Right? So you have that kind of equation here now. It's toxic. It's not brotherly. It's not sisterly, because you're teaching her to be just a dumb. You know what I mean? She's just going to be, you know what I mean, a pawn, and she'll never have no really idea what it means to be a princess and to be valued. You know what I mean? She just destroys herself really when they're doing that. That's what them rappers are doing. That's why you have so much damaged sisters all over the place. Not only they get molested and all that, but of course they're being taken advantage of in a different way. But they're looking for esteem by what the world saying the standard is. Be naked and be, you understand? They call it your tummy real flat, your hair weave, you know what I mean? Your nails are real long and disgusting, and all these different things. I mean, have time and place for that, because where the nails? But everywhere, every day, what chance you getting to do anything, you know what I mean? A substance. No. Right? And if you look at it, it's just after the so-called oppressor them, what the woman is, because they know the woman them tasteless, like you know what I mean? I ain't even, you know what I mean, like give it a description, because it really require one. Right? The oppressor females of them, they look like mange dog, you know, like old dogs. Like as soon as they cross a certain age, you know, after 20, that's it. I mean, if it's gone hang down and all of that, it's not desirable people. No shape, you know what I mean, no flavor, they're real off and dumb, you know. So when they're doing that now, that's all the things in them that they who on top. Remember, because the so-called oppressor now create the image again as God on the earth. Right? These women, I'm looking at them as the standard of beauty when they're already naturally beautiful. Right? Read on, Baba Kisha.
Verse 18.
Right.
And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom,
right,
that he shall give him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests and the Levites.
Right. So the same man is supposed to be ruling over you, supposed to have that right there, because this is what we as governing society. When I bounce up anything that I'm making sure that I know how to go about doing things, that's supposed to be right here, and then the priest and Levi is supposed to be right here with me because I'm a council. So I'm making sure that hey, this here done as it's supposed to go right here, because that is manual. That is bread and butter then, as you say in the UPK, right? The law, statutes, commandments, judgments are the most high. That is what we just function, right? And then the next part with the goal, you know, you can't have all the goal, you know what I mean? Yes, you're entitled to a certain portion and all of that, but you have to think how to make sure that your society run in the proper mind frame they're supposed to run in. Let the ruler, you understand, be esteemed so much by the people and them that he taking care of them, or have the, you understand, have the mechanism of the society running so right then that everybody real boy, yeah boy, that man that, you understand, I could run through a big wall anytime, I could run and take a bullet, I could do all these different things any day at any moment. But that is the man boy, that is really the right man for the job. Like David was esteemed, like King Solomon was esteemed when they was operating as they're supposed to. That is why they have honorable mention for eternity. They'll always be recorded like that. But they apply the same wisdom the Lord laid down for us as a people, not your pastor. He didn't say that the big tail is not to obey. You know what I mean? The Lord said the Lord done away with. When dumb, that is supposed to be operated with. You short thing in your own self. Foolish, you know that? By following the oppressor. For what? That plenty of we, you know what I mean? I already have, you know what I mean? Like a real manpower to utilize all that, but you following, you know what I mean? Like what is that when you take that cyanide pill? That is good governance for you. That is democracy for you. Right? You don't Baba Kusha, sir?
And it shall be with him, verse 19.
Right.
Salakia, and it shall be with him, and he shall reign all the days of his life.
Some days of your life.
All the days of his life.
Nah, by tomorrow you done that.
All the days of his life.
Nah, but only when you follow it have to do with something that really beneficial to me.
All the days of his life.
All the days of your life is supposed to be it. It's supposed to refer to that. You know what I mean? Of course, with his counsel as well. Is the only way to do it. They're not doing that. nobody inside there follow understand the Bible. No, not a soul in the parliament understand the Bible. If they had only understand that to any point, they have been totally different, or somebody might have killed them by now. Right? Because of what they would really do with them resources in there. You don't Baba Kusha?
That he may learn to fear the Most High power, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes and do them.
That's it. Correct is right. Verse 20, Baba Kusha?
Verse 20. That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom. He and his children in the midst of Israel.
Like what really is supposed to be saying about the Prime Minister, Keith Rowley? Long live Keith Rowley. They can't say that. They can't say it, they follow. They can't give no hail. They can't give that kind of pips. They follow because he in the white mind. You know what he's saying? Like why you like make the rich richer, boy? You tell me yourself, boy, you don't care what we buy. We inside of here, you're gonna have a little short time. Like what do you make this thing? For a short time, I'm gonna like myself. Dumb. When your legacy can live on for how much ever after you life done hard already. I mean, they tell you by is by all sweat and labor, and that's my pain. That's how you're gonna eat. That's how you're gonna be prepared by sweat and brow. Yeah, that is how anything gonna come about, right? Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1, Baba Kusha.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Most High.
Right, so woe means destruction to the rebellious children, to the hard-headed children. That's what the Most High is saying, destruction to you, of course, read on.
That take counsel, but not of me.
Right, taking counsel, again, we're going back by Egypt. You see it again, read on, Baba Kusha, sir.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Yeah, read on.
That they may add sin to sin. So
democracy is what? What are you doing when you apply democracy? You know the man, the emperor new clothes? That's so good when you put on democracy. When you put on Christianity, that's the emperor new clothes down. And naked, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth.
Come like, you know, shop as a little child, a little boy, and I just walk in the shop just so. Me asking my father, boy, hey, I could go in the shop, but that's like here. Papa, you understand? Abba, you go in the shop, Baba Kusha, you don't walk in on the road, put 2 on the way back. Real play bad thing. You follow? You know, Baba Kusha?
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Itself in the strength of Pharaoh, that homosexual. That's everything Pharaoh do weak. You want to have no beard, you know, you want to have one woman, you follow, and then the woman she will after because you don't know how to lead she. You know, she were destroyed, so real pain, only headache. You done?
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
The trust in the shadow of Egypt. Egypt gone. You ain't just in Egypt. Egypt ain't even established no more. You ain't standing. You just need the shadow of Egypt. Right? Wow. So yeah, that is the government today. That is democracy today. That is what we have today. You don't know, Babakasha?
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
Yeah, boy. So now we calling about the man who's selling doubles and the man who's selling nuts. You know? I was selling nuts too. I was selling doubles. Well, when people came from all corners of the earth and they mistake Solomon, servant for Solomon. That is where we came off from. That is the wisdom we drop off of. Because remember, we leaders ain't having all the horses there. You multiplying gold yourself, you multiplying rice yourself. You follow? So you have a real nice economic system, everything running properly. Yeah? Plus, oh gosh, he's the sweetest man he could because he followed the wisdom of the Lord. He connected the right way. Come like he in the garden, eating and real liking himself. And making things work as it's supposed to. Working with the gentleman, everything nice. Popcorn feel everything nice, you know what I mean? That is what it really mean to be nice. You done, Babakasha?
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
That is why we confuse other people. Yeah, because we trusting in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah. So this government here never know, never will, ever was designed to benefit the slaves of the society. We just came out as slaves. Just so that people know now. If they were 20-year-old or something like that and nobody telling them nothing, they understand nothing on the face of the earth. Understand something. Just the other day, he was a slave. Just before 1962, he was under what they call Jim Crow. Jim Crow is the next form of slavery. Being the next form of slavery again today, but chattel slavery was not too long ago. Maybe the 1800s somewhere. That's so that we know who we're talking about. The slave of the society does not benefit. We just continue to be, you understand, the grinding meat for them. Because that is what they know to do. Destroy. As the scripture is saying, we'll be destroyed. Yeah? Go across the 7, Babakasha, and then somebody hold Ecclesiasticus chapter 40, verse 28, Babakasha. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 40, verse 28.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 7. For the Egyptians shall help in vain.
How the Egyptians go help?
Shall help in vain.
In vain. Vain means useless. They will not help us. These are the nations that will never help us. We don't.
And to no purpose.
And to no purpose. Nothing gonna change.
Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still.
So yeah, we real dreaded. Yeah, we just talk. We like straight up. Their strength is to sit still. Them gone. This what it means to sit still. Bali pull up on us. Bali put shots by. Look how we doing it. It's all a problem. One guy and work like everybody else now, boy. Look at that programs there. Look at the Prime Minister now talking about programs, the opportunities set up. What opportunities? You follow? Because the people are not instructed well. And they mental, how they even think, you understand, to operate properly when they get the opportunities. If they have no guidance. You follow? Yeah, so the Prime Minister does not love you. You understand? He loves slave master. I will hear. Let's reiterate now. Let's make sure we understand, right? Read on Babakasha.
Verse 8. Go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book,
right?
That it may be to come forever and ever.
Write it, note it in a book. Make sure they can understand it. This is the records that we're reading here today. That's why Isaiah say, well, boy, yeah, boy. We in a real, we gonna be in a dread state later on. We saw. I remember he don't see how much captivity, but 2 already come up here. So when you see this here now, boy, yeah, somebody have to make sure and give them a heads up later on. I don't know how long this garbage will last, but boy, I don't know we facing them facing at that time. So you know, I'm making sure I write it in a book so somebody go there to learn it. Somebody go see and get a warning, get your heads up. But this kind of vicious cycle, then, telling you, I don't know how we understand we existing sometimes as a people. I'm like, really and truly, if the Lord didn't love Israel, then if the Lord wasn't putting the angels to watch over me, then really and truly, we as a people, then we'd have been dust. Actually, where them in wipe out for the face of the earth. Read on, Baba Kusha.
Verse 9, that this is a rebellious people.
A rebellious, and for still, you understand, we're still caught up in the garbage. Read on.
Lying children.
Lying children, because you say, no, boy, they're not the way to live, boy. We tell yourself, you see them brothers and there? Them is mad people. Them is lunatics we talking about. By trusting democracy, right? That lying there every 5 years, normal, and easy. Coming every how much days and running the thing with it, and the story only changing with COVID-19 and this and that and the other and all that talking right through, right? But with the measurements in place, what do you think of them? They're supposed to be here, the testing kits and all that. Where they reach it? Even when it reaches, all kind of lies again. That's what politics is. Read on.
Children that will not hear the law of the Most High.
Yeah.
Which say to the seers,
right?
See not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us righteous things, right things.
Right.
Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
And I have some quote. Some woman say, what, lie to me? I said, lie to me, yeah. But tell me the truth, you know what I mean? A lot of women want to be, you understand, weakened. They want to be bamboozled and they don't want to, but lies isn't helping you. They make it feel like, like lying is a glorious thing, you know? Like, it wasn't me, you know what I mean? That it was me. It was me. What's the problem? You tell me what the problem is. If you feel you know what the problem is, you come and tell me. When I examine your reasoning, it off, you know? And then the woman that you understand, feel you could beat a man alone. Nah, what about the other sister that need that guidance too? Now you care not much, you learn that from your pastors and the politicians. You learn to not care about nobody but yourself. You know what I mean? And even doing that, they don't even care about yourself. It just creating a destructive cycle, a pool are doing that same thing. It doesn't help you. Because when you need, understand the support and the kind of mindset that they need to have right around here, you care about you. You understand? That's how this is. Read on, Baba Kusha.
Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path.
Move out the way now, boy. You talking about Balash now, boy. You stupid as all talking about you. Maybe people stop thinking about I was not looking at that smallie boy, not going to look down there, boy. Man, come and talking all this preaching thing, boy, this Bible thing, boy. Dumb. You follow? And you're going to spread out some kind of virus and all dead, all dying, and suffering and crying later. 3 months down the road. As soon as you're done sex, you understand? You're burning. You follow? Ain't smart, dumb. You keep your mouth closed. Let the Lord understand what the people and read on.
Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
That's not disrespectful. You understand? People let's be sometime. So like the Lord, you know what I mean? Like the Lord. So you requesting that you don't want to hear nothing. So the Lord going to close your eyes. So you're going to watch it. Lord going to saw. No, I ain't seen it. You think you must have a clown then? That is what your politicians and them are responsible for. These men and them you follow only for a short time. Because here go on, people go recognize who's right thinking people. That's all the Lord needs. Some people just see, well, okay, I need to stop calling evil good and good evil. Right, is it? And you say, well, I know I could ask some people to work with, some more people still I could work with. And we Lord looking for, you know. We here, we love all Israel. But understand something we have work to do. I mean, trying to play. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You done?
Verse 12. Wherefore thus say the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression.
Then you just in oppression then? You just in somebody to abuse you, come like use them women and them that they know that saying that the man will change and continue to guide you. Instead of you going to follow and finding out, first thing first, you make a bad decision. Okay, you make a bad decision, right? But now you didn't want to go and seek help for yourself. How can a foolish, stupid could be again? And then we just, you understand, like the professor and them just play like, like they're on something. What you talking about? Because you're driving a Jaguar, a Benz or something. He's an idiot. He's a damn fool. You don't, Baba Kusha? You don't?
And pervertness. And say thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a bridge, ready to fall,
right?
So in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly and at an instant.
You ever see a big tall wall in the movies, everything like that? If a dam must a bus, I'm going on bus. So what they're talking about in the wall is when they start a crack. You know what I mean? So through the wall, you see that now. You don't go on that whole wall, going fall in there and do your whole day. You ain't go there, you ain't go live, you go there, or you'll be asking some broken limbs that might need repair. That is what's going on. That is how shameful it is. Because right there and go fall right in your soul. You know what I mean? Like a damn idiot. That is what we people doing when they trusting in oppression, there's government and the games and the lies and the Christian church. You know what I mean? So you Lord ain't really for that. You don't cut your tail, you know. They keep paying a vicious cycle because I way so in. Okay, no problem. You feel that right through. You know what I mean? All right. So from there we jump in across Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 verse 28. It's imperative for us to stop doing this. Everybody that want to walk upright and truly live here, right? This is what you have to do. And after that, you know what I mean? Salakia, Officer Shah. And stand by, right? Baba Shah. Right? Ecclesiasticus, to what again, Officer Michael, right? Of Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 28.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40 and verse 28. My son,
right?
Lead not a beggar's life.
So stop begging the government and them for the support, for the help. They're not about that. You know what I mean? Egypt gone sit, everybody gonna sit still. That is how Egypt gonna help. That's what the scripture don't say. That we've seen today. We done?
For better it is to die than to beg.
It's better to die than to beg. You're encouraging your family and them to do what's the madness. And continue to get licks. You know what I mean? Because I mean, which person like to get beat blue and black all over their body? Right? And then say, well, hey, I'm gonna live to see you next day. Like we're doing. Like we're doing it just in politics. They breaking up all your bones and then you come back again, real weak. And come and say, well, yeah, I go live, I go survive, and they spit it out your teeth. Damn, we done.
Verse 29. The life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
Right? Especially them oppressing. You follow? Because look, in any way, shape, and form, that you decide that you want to depend, you know what I mean, on anybody to live, you have problems. Because the scriptures don't tell you, and they don't see already, they're not going to do it. They never was doing it. That's what they set up. Egypt not even standing no more. And you just in the philosophy of Egypt that the Lord crush. It should give you a hint. That is what Babylon standing on today. That is what America standing on today. The same nasty system that never worked for us. Never, it didn't benefit them as a people. We don't, Babakasha?
For he polluted himself with other men's meat.
So you're polluting yourself with other people's meat. Now I mean you go in and eating the stale meat out of the fridge. You're begging? We don't?
But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
But a wise man, if you want to be wise, you find out how you could come to the doors here. And you invest your time into learning how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Invest your time in learning what the Lord desires for you, what is your responsibility, and then how to fine-tune what you can do or what you can't do, or what you'll get to do. Because that is how things gonna go. Right? With that, we pass the class over to priest and officer Shah, Babaka Shah.
Security announcement. Out of 120 SHALAM, New York, under command in GEN.YAHANNA. The rules for brothers and sisters: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves off the will. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months where the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10 means 10 to Hebrews from my share. 10% of every penny increase. The Lord gives you, give to your treasury department, teacher, priest for a fuel offering for priests. Non-mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. That'll be the Feast of Dedication, also known as Hanukkah, the 25th day of the 9th month. The space of 8 days. That'll be from Wednesday, December 19th, space of 8 days, 2020. You can find this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. Remind the Africans and Aquatians to check on social media such as I.S.U.P.K, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in school, then he should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirt, like pants, like headband, scarf. Did I say, Marshall? Sir, turn and face the east. When I say Lord prayer in Hebrew, Abanawa, Bashamaya, Kodash, Ayah,
In the English, what we said was, Our Father.
Our Father.
Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In it. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
We're going to say, let's see, group. Barak, Wa Mayakala, Wala Hariam, Zabia, Wapiam, Al Wapiam, Saraniam, Aquat Zal Yanyam, Aquat Yalyam, Watiam, Yahweh, Hashem, Oshai,
in the English, what we said was bless Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angel, commanding Julian, generals, captains, officers, troopers, and sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it.
You want to say the Hakat? Yahweh, Hashem, Oshai, Kasha, Tananawa, Akat, Wakal Makala, Wakal Madawan, Akat, Matuzarium, Lahakwayam, Matayam, Akat, Iwakuat, Guatemala, Garishim, Oshai, Shalaman.
Right, in the English, what we said was Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. To heal. All manner of sickness. All manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. All right, it's the I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the leader. And speak against us. The prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the leader. And shake loose. The church of the rich of Israel, they refuse to give to the school, force the riches, to enter into thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nation, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring such destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word to all the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer and the Yahweh, Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us and speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread to the media, to all the whole world. Cause them to shake as they come in. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always. So be it.
You want to say that bless Israel? Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Rakana, SHALAM, Wahab, Saparium, Gun.
The Shikana killer. All the brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth. All the brothers and sisters in the truth.
Commander General YAHANNA, all the generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, the destroyer of Israel, brothers and sisters fighting to come in the truth. All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, I.S.U.P.K worldwide, and their families, I.S.U.P.K Trinidad and Tobago, and their families, I teacher, Tazapa, Partizan, Yapa, Tamam.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
General,
Captain, troopers, children, all the destroyer of Israel, Shariah, Indian family, Muslim family, family.
Commanding General YAHANNA, all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, all the troopers, all the students, sisters, all those fighting the country, Commanding General YAHANNA,
captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, Philip family, John family, Alexis family, Command General, generals, captains, officers, troopers, students, sisters, children, brothers and sisters fighting to come to the truth, brothers and sisters in the truth. Have mercy upon all the destroyer of Israel. Have mercy upon all our families. Next one.
Commander YAHANNA, generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, all the destroyer of Israel, all our families.
Brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. Brothers and sisters fighting coming to the truth. Children and babies in I.S.U.P.K. Panther family, Wrong family, Lion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Amelia, Ema, Khadijah, Trisha, Angel, Madeline, Ashida.
All the brothers and sisters fighting the community truth. I.S.U.P.K Global. And we see the destroyer of Israel. The Bawa,
Aisha, Aliyah, Hashem, Yahushai, Yohadaman.
All right, in the English, what we said was Lord. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Stop. Let's get teacher to salute. Majim Shabbat. Barak. Yanimata, let's get one place with the Majim Shabbat. Barak. Yanimata, last witness.